People who've been through too much don't become stronger. They become quieter. Not because they're healed, but because reacting used to cost them too much. And after a while, they learned what isn't worth responding to anymore. At first, people mistake this quiet for maturity. They say things like, "You're so calm. You handle things so well. I wish I had your emotional control." But that calm didn't come from peace. It came from repetition, from watching the same disappointments play out. The same patterns repeat, the same letdowns arrive, exactly as expected, over and over again. And eventually, something inside you changes, not dramatically, quietly. And that change has a cost most people never see. When you've been through enough, your emotions don't disappear. They reorganize. You stop reacting the way you used to, not because you don't care, but because you already know where most reactions lead. Arguments don't excite you anymore. Drama feels loud. Small problems feel small. Not because they don't matter, but because you've already spent years reacting, explaining, hoping something would be different this time. And one day, a realization settles in. Most things don't change just because you react harder. From the outside, this looks like strength. People assume you're unbothered, that nothing affects you, that you're above it. But what they don't see is the internal filter you've built. You're not calm because nothing hurts. You're calm because you've learned what hurts isn't always worth engaging. You don't raise your voice because you've seen how pointless it can be. You don't chase closure because you've learned it rarely arrives. You don't expect much because expectations once cost you too much. This isn't emotional numbness. It's emotional economy. But this kind of calm isn't free. It costs excitement. It costs spontaneity. Sometimes it costs connection. You don't get your hopes up easily. You don't react quickly. You don't feel things as loudly as you once did. Not because you're broken, but because being emotionally open without protection used to hurt more than staying guarded ever did. So you adapted. And adaptation looks like strength, until you notice how much of yourself stays contained. Here's the part people misunderstand most. This isn't weakness, and it isn't healing either. It's survival. It's what happens when someone learns that peace sometimes means disengaging, not proving a point, not defending yourself, not reacting at all. You start choosing silence over explanation, distance over confrontation, stillness over chaos. And to people who haven't been there, this can look cold, but it's not. It's controlled. If you recognize yourself in this, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not emotionless. You're not failing at healing, and you're not broken. You're someone who learned, the hard way, that not everything deserves your energy. And sometimes, the calm people admire is really just a person who finally learned where to stop giving pieces of themselves away.